I'm Fred, here with this week's installment of Ajax Tech Tips. This week we're going to talk about safety wire, its uses, and why to use it. Some racing sanctioning bodies or disciplines require you to use safety wire on key fasteners. It's usually fasteners that are frequently serviced or things that you use to tighten and loosen to do your regular maintenance, such as oil drain plugs, caliper mounting bolts, things of that nature. We're not going to go over the entire list, but just kind of, show you what's involved in safety wiring a bike. For sake of saving time, we're just going to do the caliper mounting bolts on this bike right over here next to us. There's many different fixtures available for doing your bolts for holding them so that you can drill them. This particular one, actually, the bolt goes through, it holds the head of it, and it has a guide in the center of the bolt that actually has a hole to guide your drill bit in so that you hit the right spot of the bolt. Now, whenever you're drilling a bolt, like an Allen bolt or a hex bolt, it's a lot easier for fitment and you don't have to worry about which hole it's in if you do, say, 3 holes on the bolt. On an Allen, you can skip every other flat and you'll have 3 equally spaced around the bolt. And on a hex bolt, you can do the same thing, especially if it has a recessed top. Now, if it does not have a recessed top, you can take a drill bit and put a short recess in there to give you a well to drill into. Otherwise, you have to drill straight through the bolt, and that's a lot of material to cross. Now, if you're drilling the threaded portion, obviously you have to go all the way through because it's going to be hard to get 3 holes to intersect in the center of a bolt. Now, we're going to use a fixture. We're going to drill through the head of this one. Typically, you can find these at most industrial supply places. You can find them at tool distributors or online. Just look up safety wire fixture for bolts, something of that nature. This one has a hole going through the head of the bolt to give us good alignment. Now that our bolts are drilled, we're going to deburr the holes. You can just use a rotary file or a burr, something with a round nose on it. Countersink bit, if it's small enough, would even work. Just go to where we drilled our holes through. Just give it a little radius. Knock the burrs off the edge of the hole. That way the wire goes through smoother. Don't snag your finger on it, anything of that nature. Then go inside, do the same thing. You may need a slightly smaller bit for the inside, depending on what you have available. Now that we've installed our bolts, we want to make sure we get them to the proper torque. We always want to make sure before you wire, you go to the proper torque. Use Loctite where it needs to be used. And then you can do your safety wire. By standard, safety wire is supposed to be 6 to 8 winds per inch. The reason for that is you don't want to twist it too many times around in a short section because that'll weaken the wire and it'll give it like a spring to it and allow it to flex and it will stretch. So you don't want to do too many winds, just like people. The important thing to remember on safety wire, what you're doing is pulling the fastener tight. Not necessarily pulling it where it won't loosen, but to where if it does try to move in any manner, it cannot loosen off. It will only pull in the tightening direction. With drilling the 3 holes, we have the convenience of no matter which hole this bolt is in, top or bottom, you can always find a way to pull it tight. Now, if it's coming from this direction, tight is going to be on the clockwise side of center or right of center, and down here, it's going to be left of center. So you want this one to pull tight and that one to pull tight. Put the safety wire in, clamp it down, and cut it off first. Okay, bring your safety wire down, right through the top. give just a little bit of a bend to the end of the wire. Again, it will help guide it through the holes. As it makes it out the other side, just grab it, pull it. Now we need to be careful that we don't pinch our wire here for a speedo. If you're in a race bike, usually you won't have that. Nice and taut. Straight. Now on our tail that we have sticking off, let's tighten this up just a little bit here. You always want to take the excess when you trim it. First off, don't throw it on the ground. Put it in a trash can. Or put it on your stand. Don't forget it's there. Put it in the trash can because safety wire will make flats. You bend your end up. Curve it slightly inward, so it doesn't leave something to poke or snag you. And then the bolts can't loosen.